Amazing. Thank you so much, Brian, for that incredible opening. And a huge thank you to everyone joining us today. I'm Jason Azocar. I'm a co founder here at Profoundly, and I'm the COO. And I'm also the CEO at HubSearch. As Brian said, today is all about you. And the next 15 minutes is all about how to put HubSpot at the center of your career. So, why should you care? Well, let me give you two reasons. First, a $40 billion opportunity and data that shows a 51% increase in pay rates in the HubSpot ecosystem since 2019. Hopefully that got your attention. Much more on both of those numbers to come in a few minutes. Most of the insights that I'll speak about today come from my 6 years as CEO at HubSearch, which, for anybody unfamiliar, is the global leader in HubSpot recruitment. HubSearch has placed hundreds and hundreds of HubSpot professionals with both solutions partners and HubSpot customers over the years. I've spent nearly all of my time at HubSearch in the sales seat, having discovery conversations with companies that really need somebody who knows HubSpot. I've had thousands of these calls. They have focused on what skills are needed, how teams are structured, what these companies are willing to pay. And it's all of that data and insight that populates the HubSearch salary guide each year, which drops next week, by the way, and has informed my view of the HubSpot ecosystem. The state of our ecosystem is extremely strong. HubSpot is hands down the best growth platform for scaling companies. It's honestly hard to believe how far the product has come and how powerful it has become. But there is still so much opportunity for HubSpot to capture market share, new customers, and for the product to continue to expand. The future of our HubSpot ecosystem is extremely bright. Let me be crystal clear. There has never been a better time to make HubSpot the focus of your career. If you're already specialized to HubSpot, you are very much in the right place at the right time. If you're considering making HubSpot the center of your professional life, the opportunity has never been better. We are in the golden age of HubSpot as a career. There has never been more opportunity to earn a great living, work in meaningful roles, and make huge impact on scaling companies within the ecosystem. But how did we get here? What's been changing? Where is it all headed? Today, I'll talk you through a short history of HubSpot as a career, the shifts in hiring that we've seen, the rise of AI, and the massive opportunities that lie ahead. And I'll leave you with a clear path forward for how to make HubSpot the center of your career in years to come. We all know that a rewarding career is about much more than money, right? It's about impact, it's about flexibility, it's about the ability to connect with a community of your peers, it's about the ability to help others, and many other things. But if we're being fully honest with ourselves, money is important and we all need to earn. If these next two stats that I'm about to share don't prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that you have the opportunity to make a meaningful living with HubSpot at the center of your career, I'm not sure what will. So HubSpot retained IDC, a premier market intelligence firm, to report on the services opportunity around HubSpot. In other words, a report and a forecast on the dollars that HubSpot customers will spend on all things I need help with HubSpot. What they found was incredible. Google HubSpot and IDC to see the full report for yourself, by the way. I strongly recommend It's an amazing read. IDC forecasted that this year, in 2025, HubSpot customers will spend over $13 billion on services related to HubSpot and its integrated apps. $13 billion. And they predict that by 2028, that number jumps to $30 billion. To make the numbers even more incredible, this doesn't take into account the amount that HubSpot customers will spend on internal hires, like an in-house admin or a RevOps strategist. I wish I had real data to show what those types of customers will spend, but the best I can do is give you my professional estimate. I'm estimating that by 2028, that will be $10 billion. That makes the total spend on HubSpot services and talent $40 billion. The numbers are incredible. And again, to be very clear, this is your opportunity. Each and every HubSpot expert has the ability to go compete for these dollars. I'm taking this very personally. I view my role in the HubSpot ecosystem as put as many of those dollars in the hands of HubSearch candidates and Profoundly community members as I possibly can. Between the two brands, every single person who is a HubSpot expert or aspiring expert now has the tools, resources, and support to make HubSpot the center of your career. In addition to that massive opportunity, HubSearch has seen incredible growth in average compensation rates of HubSpot experts. Across all HubSearch placements, both full-time and freelance contract, compensation rates are up 51% since 2019. Let that sink in for a second. 51% increase in 6 years. Again, we're in the golden age of HubSpot as a career, and the opportunity to earn your living by focusing on HubSpot has never been better. There is massive demand for HubSpot experts that is growing each year, and the companies hiring have realized there is a ton of competition for you, for this elite HubSpot talent, and they've reacted with increased pay rates. Okay, let's talk a little bit about where all of this opportunity exists and who is hiring. So for years, it was primarily HubSpot solutions partners hiring HubSpot experts to service HubSpot customers, because of course it was. That was where the talent was concentrated. For instance, in 2019 and 2020, nearly 80% of HubSearch's placements were at partners. We are starting to see that shift substantially. It is no longer just HubSpot partners driving demand for HubSpot professionals. Customers are overtaking them and have fully bought into having their own full-time or freelance HubSpot product owner. Today, and increasingly in years to come, demand will be driven by HubSpot customers seeking all sorts of help with HubSpot. Think about the implications of that. HubSpot has thousands of amazing partners, but it has hundreds of thousands of customers. That shift alone multiplies the number of opportunities and demand in this ecosystem enormously. The need for HubSpot expertise is skyrocketing. The demand for skilled HubSpot professionals has never been higher. Every year when I sit down to write the content for the HubSearch salary guide, certain things end up jumping out of the data at me, and I summarize them each year in the key insights section. I'm excited to give you a preview of some of what jumped out this year and what you'll see next week when the salary guide comes out. I won't go into each of the insights because I promised the panelists in the next session, which is going to be incredible, by the way, that I wouldn't go long. So I chose to focus on what I think is most important and most relevant to share today, given the theme of HubSpot as a career. So the TLDR here is, if you want to be in the top 10% of salary guide ranges, HubSpot experts need to get more technical and more industry specialized. Through all of the conversations that I've had over the last 12 months, I mean, really over the last 2.5 years, it started to become clear what skills are being viewed as most valuable by companies hiring HubSpot experts. Hopefully, many of you have read previous versions of the salary guide. If you have, you've seen that each year we report on comp ranges by role. Something we really tried to focus on this year was, as an individual, what can you do? What skills can you acquire to get to the higher end of the range? How do you put yourself in the top 10% of the range and make as much money as possible with your HubSpot skills? There will be expanded sections in this year's salary guide about what gets you into the high performer category. Let me preview some of that insight for you here today. Okay, so let's talk about some of the most common roles that HubSearch is asked to search for. Keep in mind, each of these roles are fairly broad. Every company in our ecosystem defines them a bit differently, and there is a lot of crossover of skill. All that being said, there are still some things that separate the highest earners. Let's talk HubSpot admin first. It's important to say again, HubSpot admin means something different to nearly every company when you get into the details. But overall, in my experience, it generally means the same thing: the person who is directly responsible for HubSpot, in particular the CRM. In the session directly after this, A panel of exactly the right people will debate what it should mean and how exactly it should be applied. But what I see day to day is that most companies use it to talk about the HubSpot CRM owner. HubSpot admin is usually a title reserved for full timers or freelancers within a HubSpot customer. In a solopreneur or agency setting, the equivalent is generally something like solutions engineer, solutions architect. Really, the primary difference is that in an agency setting, a solutions engineer is essentially a HubSpot admin who is also fantastic at running discovery with clients and delivering project work across an engagement. But at the end of the day, generally speaking, the skills are similar. The biggest indicator here on earnings is how deep you are in Ops Hub and Service Hub. Every single time HubSearch runs an onboarding call for HubSpot admin, we hear something similar. It's we need somebody who obviously knows Marketing Hub and Sales Hub, their table stakes, and the ideal person will have some real depth in Service and Ops Hub. I actually didn't hear much of that. I didn't hear much of anything about Service or Ops Hub until mid 2023. It was rare. Then the requests for those skills started to steadily ramp up. Today, I consider the standard HubSpot admin to be highly skilled in Marketing Hub and Sales Hubs. And the advanced admins who are earning the most, who are getting into that top 10%, are the ones that can add meaningful value further across HubSpot stack. This shouldn't come as a surprise. HubSpot customers are spending a lot of money for HubSpot, and they want to squeeze every drop of value they can out of their investment. They're willing to pay more for admins who can look across the hubs for ways to make the business most productive and most efficient. If I had to stack rank, I'm putting Service Hub as number one and Ops Hub as number two. But if you really want to be in the top 10% of earners in the admin category, the further you can get into each, the better. Let's talk RevOps next. Again, huge differences in the ways that companies define what a RevOps professional does, but generally the summary is something like, we need someone who deeply understands HubSpot to work with our leadership team to understand goals and target revenue outcomes, work backward from the goal down to the strategy, down to the tactics that will produce the outcomes, and do all of that through the lens of HubSpot's capabilities. The top driver for RevOps has become industry specialization. It's such a strategic role, and HubSearch's clients are consistently saying things like, we've got to find somebody who is amazing at RevOps and understands how to do it in a SaaS or manufacturing environment. And it makes sense. HubSpot customers want to bring in people who understand how to produce certain outcomes in their specific industry. We hear it with partners all the time also. So many partners have started to specialize to industry, and they're looking for RevOps pros who have deep understanding of that industry. The message here is if you're a RevOps professional, you should be thinking about specializing to an industry to earn in the top 10% of the RevOps range. It may seem like a limiting factor, and I would understand that reaction, but as long as you choose a big industry, like SaaS, for instance, there will never be a shortage of opportunities, and being specialized will make you stand out and will give you the ability to price yourself toward the top of the RevOps range. Lastly, marketers, I haven't forgot about you. For marketers, it's all about AI in 2025. Nearly all of the marketing searches HubSearch is being asked to run includes something like, we don't want a traditional marketer focused just on SEO, email, content, etc. We are looking for a growth strategist who can teach us how to use AI to get the right messages to the right people in all the channels. Now, I'm sure many of you just cringed at how broad that is, and I don't blame you, but that's what companies are looking for. It doesn't matter if it's a full-time hire, freelancer, or an agency, the legacy marketing role is dying. The modern marketer has to be highly AI savvy and use that skill set to help companies actually leverage AI in ways that hit goals. I hear people talking all the time about AI eating marketing. I don't think that's reality personally. AI is going to eat the traditional marketing role. So marketers, it's time to step up your game, get more technical, become an AI expert, and use the tools to show outsized value to your company or your clients. All right, speaking of AI, what would a keynote be in 2025 without addressing artificial intelligence? So, how does AI factor into the opportunities in our ecosystem? Well, AI is not a trend, it's a paradigm shift, one that every HubSpot professional must pay attention to. You're going to hear a lot about AI today, so I won't dwell too long on the topic. But the view from my seat is simple: be the AI change agent for your company and for your clients. The most successful HubSpot professionals of the future will be AI integrators. No matter your title, your role in house or as a consultant or an agency, you need to be leading AI adoption in your company's tech stack or your client's tech stack. No one will be better positioned to lead this shift than the people responsible for HubSpot. So, where is it all headed? Well, HubSpot is not slowing down. Companies will continue adopting HubSpot at a rate of tens of thousands per quarter. The demand for HubSpot experts will continue to skyrocket. HubSpot experts who understand how to add real measurable value to companies using the tools HubSpot has to offer will see more opportunities than ever before. But all of this upward momentum for HubSpot needs to be translated into opportunity for you. And that's where Profoundly comes in. Profoundly is built to enable HubSpot as a career. Today's kickoff event is just the beginning. We are obsessing over becoming the most valuable asset you have in acquiring new skills and making money with your HubSpot expertise. If you only remember one thing from this session, remember this: your opportunity has never been better. There has never been a better time to lean into HubSpot, and Profoundly is built to enable you every step of the way. We're here to make sure that as demand for HubSpot professionals grows, you grow with it and can take advantage of all of the opportunities to help hundreds of thousands of HubSpot customers around the world get the help they need. We're here to help you thrive in the golden age of HubSpot as a career. Thank you all so much for joining us today for the first ever Profoundly Kickoff event. You're in for an incredible few hours. Up next, one of my personal favorite hot topics: what is a HubSpot admin? Enjoy.